Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is about constructing the perfect table using Microsoft Word application. The best way to present a bunch of data at one time in Word is to do it in a table. Viewers can compare and contrast the data. They can compare Elvis sightings in different cities or income from different businesses. They can contrast the number of socks lost in different washing machine brands. A table is a great way to plead your case or defend your position. Readers can see right away whether the numbers back you up. They can refer to your table to get the information they need. This will be the course outline of our demonstration. Number one, talking table jargon, creating table, entering the text and numbers, selecting different parts of a table, laying out your table, aligning text in columns and rows, merging and splitting cells, repeating header rows on subsequent pages, using math formulas in tables, and neat tables tricks. This will be the intended learning objectives or intended learning outcomes. At the end of the demonstrations, the learners will be able to understand table jargon, creating a table and entering the text and numbers, changing the size in rows and columns, aligning table text in various ways, merging and splitting cells to make interesting layouts, decorating a table with table styles, colors, and borders, doing math calculations in a word table, and discovering an assortment of table tricks. So we may proceed to a demonstration proper. So my references, of course, is the Office 2016 at Work Dummies. Okay? So this will be the link if you want to see the book itself. And of course, ICT Empowerment MS Office application by Marmelo Abante. Okay. So as what we have here, I just want to give you an example, no, wherein we will be able to identify different parts, okay, of a table. As what as with much else in computer land, tables have their own jargon. So this figure describes this jargon, but you need to catch up on this term to construct the perfect table. So we have a cell here. So for example, this one is a cell, this also a cell, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then the box that is formed where a row and column intersect. Each cell holds one data item. So for example, with this cell, it holds 80. With this cell, it holds 90. Header arrow. So this will be a header arrow. So, yan, as you can see here. Yan. Okay, so I have a header arrow already. Okay? The name of the labels along the top row and explain what is the column below. So for example, this one, name, prelim, midterm, final, general average is a header arrow. Then we have, of course, what we call row labels. So the row labels, for example, is the Abante Melo, Binay Binjoy, Cross Chuana, Salonga Aubrey. That is the row labels. Then of course, this line, either vertical or horizontal, is what we call borders. No? So this one, yan, borders. And this one is also a border. Okay? How about this one? This one is what we call border lines. Okay? So borders the lines in the table that define where the rows and columns are, while grid lines, the gray lines that show where the columns and rows are, unless you've drawn borders around the cell in a table. You can tell where rows and columns begin and end without grid lines. So to display or hide the grid lines, go to the Table Tools Layout tab and click the View Grid Lines button. Okay, now, this will be the parts of a table. Again, cell, header row, row labels, borders, and grid lines. Now, creating a table. Word offers several ways to create a table. So, drag on the table menu. On the Insert tab, this will be the Insert tab. Click the table button. So, this will be the table button. Point in the drop-down list. So, this will be the drop-down list. To the number of columns and rows you want. So, click and go to the mouse. So, when I click this one, okay, so you are allowed now to create table. So, for example, so this is an example of a table menu. Okay? So, for example, if you want to create a table, for example, as what we have here, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Okay, so horizontal, that is a row. Vertical, that is column. Okay? Okay, so again, for us to insert the table, you just click this, of course, the insert, then table, drop-down list. You have an insert table here. If you want to have an exact, just click this one. No, and then you will assign. For example, you want to have 4 columns, that is vertical, and you want to have, for example, 8 rows, that is horizontal. Then click OK. So as you can see here, you have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. So use the Insert Table dialog box. On the Insert tab, click the Table button and choose Insert Table on the drop-down list. The Insert Table dialog box appears. Enter the number of columns and rows you want and click OK. So this will be the exact process. So again, I just want to show it again. So click Insert, Tables. Then as you can see here, if I just want to insert again a table, so just click Insert Table. As I mentioned, this is what we call use the Insert Table dialog box. Okay? So this will be the some techniques for creating a table. Another possible way on how we'll be able to create a table is to draw a table. So in the Insert tab, click Insert, of course. For example, if you are in a home, click Insert, Table, then Draw Table. So for example, if you want to draw, so assuming you want to draw this one, you want to do additional table, then you want to have a column, of course. That is another way on how we'll be able to create a table. Okay? The pointer changes into a pencil. Use the pencil to draw the table borders, rows in columns. If you make a mistake, click the eraser button. So, of course, you are allowed to erase this one. This one, no? If you want to erase, click this one, then erase. Okay? So, this is the simple way on how you'll be able to erase the draw table. Of course, to create a quick table, just click, of course, You just click insert again, then click the table button, choose quick tables. On the drop down list, then select the ready-made. No? We have a ready-made table available. So for example, if you want to choose this one, so you have a table already. Okay? Construct a table from an Excel worksheet. You are also allowed to do that, to do this. Okay? So click insert. So click insert, table, then Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so as you can see here, you have now an Excel file already, or you can able to get an Excel worksheet appears, and of course, you see Excel tabs and commands where Word tabs and commands used to be. The worksheet you just created is embedded in your file. Whenever you click the worksheet, Excel menus and commands instead of Word menus and commands appear on screen. Click outside the worksheet to return to Word. So as you can see here, this is Microsoft Excel. So you want to insert a Microsoft Excel in ano. But if you want, of course, as I mentioned, uh, click outside the worksheet to return to a Word. So just click. Oh, then automatically you return to a Microsoft Word toolbar. So we have here the simplest way to create a table. Okay? Now, entering the text and numbers. Okay, so simply delete this one first. So assuming we are going to create a new one, so table, the fastest one. Okay, so after you've created the table, you can start entering text and numbers. All you have to do is click in a cell and start typing. Select your table and take advantage of these techniques to make the one row's task of entering table data a little easier. Quickly changing a table size. Okay, so as you can see here, if you want to enter the text, you just type, for example, holy face. For example, Saint Felicity, World City Colleges, and so on. So this is the simplest way. No, I think you are familiar on how to write to encode. Okay. Now, to make the table stretch from page margin to the page margin, go to the Table Tools Layout tab. Click the Auto Fit button and choose Auto Fit window. You automatically able to adjust, no? Just look for the plus sign, then you are allowed to adjust the size of your column at the same time the size of your row. Okay. We have also some shortcuts, no, for moving the cursor in a table. So for example, you are here, example Marmelo. Then if you want to move a cursor in the right side, for example, you're here, just click tab, tab. Or arrow down, no, arrow left or arrow right, arrow left or arrow right. Or to start a row, just click alt home, alt plus home. Okay? And of course, for end of row, alt plus end. For top of a column, alt plus page up. For bottom of column, alt plus page down. Selecting different parts of a table. It almost goes without saying, but before you can reformat, alter, or diddle with table cells, rows, and columns, you have to select them. Selecting cells, to select a cell, click in it. Okay, so just click in it. You can select several adjacent cells by dragging the point over them. So drag, and you can able to select. Selecting a row, just click this one. Okay, move the pointer to the left of the row and click when you see the right pointing arrow. So as you can see here, okay, if you want to click. Selecting the column, same. So you just highlight if you wanted this column, or same as what we did, move the pointer above the column and click. Okay, so to highlight the cell. Selecting the table just simply goes this. Okay, selecting the table. Okay. Changing the size of a table, columns, and rows. The fastest way to adjust the width of columns, the height of the rows, and the size of the table itself is to eyeball it and drag the mouse. So as you can see here, as what I did a while ago. So you are able to adjust the table, the columns, and the row. So if you want to adjust, example this one as row, it's too easy. By dragging, drag the top, bottom, or side of the table. You can use drag the lower right corner to change the size vertically and horizontally. Height and width, text boxes. On the table tools layout tab, enter measurement in the height and width with text boxes. For the table properties dialog box, on the table tools layout tab, click the cell size group buttons on the table tab of the table properties dialog box. Enter a measurement in the preferred with text box. So as you can see here, if you choose the entire table, so you will be able to see different additional formatting. Okay, so for example, if you want to insert additional table, if you want to delete the table, if you create a new command, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, how about if I just want to add a rows and column? To add a rows and column, you just click this one to add a row. So automatically you have an additional row. But if you want to add additional column, so just click this one. Automatically you have an additional columns. Inserting columns, select a column or columns and click the insert left and insert right. So it is also allowed to do this. Highlight, insert, either above, below, left, or right. Okay? So you are allowed to do that. or just simply right click na as I mentioned. Then you are allowed to use some table properties, delete rows, insert. No? We have also to merge cell, distribute rows evenly, borders style, of course, text direction, table properties, and no comments. Of course, in deleting a columns, so you just highlight, no? You are allowed to highlight this one, then click delete. Or you just look for a pointer, arrow down, this one, click, then delete. Or instead of doing that, right click, delete columns. Same with rows, highlight, right click, delete rows. Or just simply highlight, okay, then automatically display the delete. Okay, delete rows. So that is one way on how to delete columns and rows. Okay. Now, how will be able to sort or reordering table? The difference between ascending and descending sort is as follows. Ascending arranges text from A to Z, numbers from smallest to largest, and dates from earliest to latest. Descending arranges text from Z to A, numbers from largest to smallest, and dates from latest to earliest. When you rearrange a table by sorting it, Word rearrange the formatting as well as the data. So, do your sorting before you format the table. Okay, so for us to sort or reorder a table, what we're going to do is just go to the table layout. So this will be the table layout. So if you have, for example, table layout, then click sort. This will be the sort button. Click the sort button. Of course, what we're going to do is to rearrange the general average. So, for example, if you want to rearrange the name, the prelim, final, and general average. So, by this time, I just want to rearrange the general average. Okay, descending, okay, from highest to lowest. Then, of course, same for the name. Then, click OK. So, as you can see here, at the top is 95, 90, 85, and 80. For you to get the top 1 in your class. Okay, now aligning text in columns and rows. Select the cell, columns or rows with text that you want to align, or you just simply click the entire table. So by this time, what I wanted to do is, for example, if I want to center this one, highlight, then from the table's layout, click the align button. So we have the align buttons here. Okay, we have the different, no? We have the draw, the eraser, the delete. We have here the insert, merge cell, auto fit, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this will be the alignment. So this one is for align top left, top center, top right, center right, center, align center, okay? Center left, bottom center, and of course, bottom right. So what we're going to do is to use this one, align center. So automatically in center. Same with this one. So automatically in the center. But if you want to make it align center left, it is also allowable. No bottom. But commonly, ito yung ginagamit natin. This will be that we're going to use. Okay? Merging and splitting cells. Okay. So, merging cells, click the merge cell. So, for example, if you want to merge this one, I just want to add first table. Okay. So, then, Paul, for us to go copy. Okay. So, for example, if we want to have this grading sheet at the top. Okay. So, just simply click. You are allowed to right click actually, then merge cell. Or you just click the layout view, then choose the merge cell here. Okay, this will be the merge cell. You click this one, then automatically merge. So as you can see here, splitting the cells. So for example, if we want to have additional table, additional rows rather. So as I mentioned, we have the split cell here. So for example, if you want to split this one, for example, number of columns at 4, then number of rows 1, just click OK. So as you can see here, we have a split cell here, row and column. Okay? Okay, so for example, if you want to have an auto fit cell, just highlight, for example, this one, or so if you better for us to rearrange this one into a left align. Then we're going to adjust the cell. Then for example, if we want to have to use the auto fit, click this one, then layout, layout, then auto fit. Auto fit contents, auto fit window, or fix column width. So by this time, maybe just want to auto fit contents. As you can see here, just simply auto fit the value. If you want to center the entire table, click this one, then menu, click center. Okay? So again, if you want to delete this one, just right click, delete rows. Okay? Designing a table with a table style. So of course, it's important for us to know how to format our table. So the fastest way to get a good looking table is to select a table style in the table styles gallery. Okay? So actually we have a different table design here. So for example, if you want to design this one, you just click. No? This is the easiest way. If you want to have your own design, it's the common. But if you want to have some additional, click this one arrow. No, automatically you could able to see a lot of table design. So if you want this one, no, that is also another way around on how you'll be able to have your table design. Okay, so if you want more blue, so it's up to you. So what type of design you want to apply. So for example, if you want this or this one or this one, it's up to you. Okay? This will be actually the easiest one. So again, this will be the available design. So for example, I want this one. Okay, calling attention of different rows and columns, header row and total row, banded columns and banded rows, first column and last column. So decorating your table with borders and colors. So designing border for your table, you just simply follow the steps to fashion a border for your table on part of your tables. So go to the table tools, design tab as what we have here. select the part. So for example, if we want to go to our previous one, this is the easiest way, right? So for example, this will be our former table. Okay. Now, select the part of the table you want that needs a new border. So to select the entire table, go to the table tools, layout tab. So again, to layout, click the select button. Okay, so as what we have here, this one, select button. Then you are allowed to use, for example, create a look for a table borders you will apply or draw. So it's up to you, this one, and so on. You just want to select row. And we have a properties here for table, so for rows, for column, cell, and for all text. So it's up to you. So the border style, open the drop-down list of the border style. And choose the border style that most resembles the one you want. Siyempre, what you're going to do is to choose what you really want. Okay? So, we have different borders here. So, for example, all borders, outside borders, top borders, or you can able to have a border sharing. Okay? So, we have a lot of options, none, box, all, grid. Okay, so you'll be able to see the sample output here. Customize, no? Or page border, for example, we have 3D, customs. We have also shading. If you want to have a shading, for example, this one, automatically you could able to see the output, no? Or you can choose this one, for example. Then if you apply to the entire table, choose the table. But if you want to apply in a paragraph or cell or text, so for example, for the entire table, click OK. Automatically inserted. Okay, so using math formulas in tables. Okay, now, so for example, we don't have an average here, for example. Now, put the cursor in the cell that will hold the sum or product of the cell above, below, to the right, or to the left. So for example, we want to compute the general average of this one. So put the cursor in the cell that will hold the sum. Okay, in the table tools, layout tab again, layout. Then we have a formula button here. Click formula. Then as you can see here, if you just simply want to add, no, then just click sum equal sum left, automatically give you for a decimal place. If you want to have, for example, 2 decimal places, you just choose this one. Okay, then click OK. So automatically get the sum of the left value. So same process, click this one. Okay, for example, if you don't want to have a decimal places, click 0, then click OK. So for this one, table, a formula rather. So sorry, it must not be above, it must be left. That's why we have the same format. Okay, so what we're going to do again, formula. Okay, left. I just want to show you first the sum, the use of sum. For example, to decimal places, click OK. So same, left again. For example, no decimal places, okay. This one, formula, left. For example, no decimal places. Okay. So this is the one way on how we'll be able to get the sum of our inputted value in Microsoft Word. So maybe somebody asking, I thought that if we're going to have a computation, we just only use Microsoft Excel. No, we are also allowed to use a computation or formula in Microsoft Word. So for example, if you are only have a license of Microsoft Word without Microsoft Excel, so you are allowed to have a computation using your Microsoft Word. So for example, if you just want to get the average, okay, before I forget, again, as I mentioned, so this is considered as a row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but this one is row, this is column 1 or column A, sorry, column A, column B, column C, D, E. So I will make I'll just try to to write a column. So that is column A, B, C, D, E. And this will be the left. Insert column left, for example. So for us to have a most presentable one, so you just right click, insert again, insert column at the top, or row. Above. So, ang dami naman. Okay, undo. So you just simply highlight, insert, above, okay. So, wait for a while. Okay, so for example, this will be a column, again. So again, this will be a row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7. Then this one is again column A, column B, column C, column D, E, in column F. Okay? So for us to get the value, for example, if we want to get the general average, again, go to layout, but don't forget to, of course, don't forget to put your cursor, no, in the cell that you want to display the results. Okay, click layout, formula again. So by this time, instead of sum, since we are going to get the general average, just simply delete, equal sign. So therefore, this will be uh, row 1, 2, 3. So column C. So therefore, that is C3, D3. Okay, so C3, D3, E3. So it's equal to C3 plus D3 plus E3, open and close parenthesis, of course. Then, divide 3. Then, for example, 2 decimal places, click OK. So, this will be the average. Or, we are also allowed to do this. Okay? So, this one, Sum left, divide 3. Open and close parenthesis here. Then, for example, the decimal place, then click OK. That is also allowable. It's up to you. If you want to use the sum left or you just simply use this one. Okay? How will be able to distinguish that this is with formula? So once you click, we have a highlight. So as you can see, if I click this one, no highlight because there is no formula here. But if I click this one, we have a highlight because this will be a formula. Okay, again, using another way around. So another way is, of course, by this time that is C4, C5, 5, D5, E5. So C5 plus D5 plus E5 divide 3. Okay, then two decimal places. You just two decimal places, then click OK. So this one, we are using another way around. So left, then divide 3. Then two decimal places, click OK. So as you can see here, if we want to total, if we want to get the total, for example, so of course you just click form, then above. So if you want to have this no decimal places, this will be the total of their grades. This is one way you will be able to get the average or sum of a given value. So how about if we wanted to have a text direction? Okay, maybe somebody who are wanted to. Okay, so to this one, again, we choose auto fit, auto content. Okay, the window. Now, this time, what I wanted to do, for example, is to have a text direction. Actually, in a top-heavy table in which the cell in the first row contains text and the cell below contain numbers, consider changing the direction of the text in the first row to make the cell easier to read. So for example, so you just simply highlight, for example, if you want to have a different text direction, then layout tab. So we have in the layout tab already. Then keep clicking the text direction button until the text lands where you want it to land. Okay, so this will be the text direction. So either left or right. Okay, so this will be the text direction as you can see here. It's up to you. So what text direction you want? Sometimes you are using this one, center, left side. No. It's up to you what you wanted to. So most commonly at the center, right? No, this one, the center. Okay, so for example, wrapping text around the table. So on the table tools layout tab, click the cell size group button. The table properties dialog box open. So again, this will be the table properties. Then the row, you're allowed to have a text wrapping already. So we have the row, the column, the cell, and of course the alt text. Most commonly, sometimes we are using this one, no? Instead of getting another things. Okay? Or you just simply highlight. Okay? No? Then for example, you have a table properties here. Okay, click the table properties. Yan. So as you can see here, yan. For example, you want to have a at the center or around. Okay, if you want to add additional border, as I mentioned earlier, the borders, the page border, the shading. Okay, so and so on and so forth. Okay, how about to insert the graphics? On the layout option button, on layout again, then you are allowed to insert different insert above, below, left, right, no? Or if you want to insert, for example, a or if you want to draw, no, draw another, no, table, you are also allowed to do that. So as you can see here, you are now with different styles. Okay, how about if you want to draw on a table? Okay, so in the insert tab, click the shapes. Okay, so of course we have the insert tab. Then you just click the shape. Then for example, this one, if you want to draw yan, for example. No? Then choose, for example, this one. Okay, so behind text, we have a different options. Now we have text wrapping, type, for example, and so on and so forth. This one or this one, and others. So fix the position, move with the text, and so on and so forth. But if you don't want, okay, so you just actually you can choose different shapes actually in button and select the oval shape on the drop down list. So it's up to you. Okay, but the most important things that you need to know is the different functions available here, no? That is the formatting. Okay? So for the table design, you just use this one, okay? So for example, no, as what we have here, if you want to have the no pen, no, if you want and so on and so forth. So we are allowed to use different border style, no? So for example, this one, yeah, okay? Or if you want to have at least a big one, no? Okay? So this is another way around of doing this function. So, okay? What else? Shading, for example, more colors. This one, then click OK. Try to see what happened. So we have again, if you want to have a fastest one, just click this one. Okay, so choose the best or the or click this one or more modify table, clear or new table style. So for example, this one, okay? So you have a different approach. Okay, but see to it that the one you choose is fit to your requirements, no? So actually we have a lot of design here. Okay, so for example, with grid line, no? And so on. So it's up to you. So we have a lot of possible options. We have the table style options here. So either the first row, last column, banded columns, header row, total row, banded rows, and others. So so once you choose the table, automatically display the table design and layout. So for example, if you are in home, no, if you cannot choose the table, so you're not able to see the table design and layout. But if you choose the table itself, it's automatically display the table design and the layout. Okay, so that's it. I hope that you will be able to manipulate table using different table layout and design. Okay, that's it.